What's going on, guys? This is Wolfthorne here, and thank you so much for coming by the channel today and checking out another Call of Duty video. What I'm presenting is a small review of the Eclipse DLC map Knockout. Now, as you guys know, the PS4 gets this stuff early nowadays. So for me and a bunch of everybody else who plays on the Xbox One, we just got these maps not even last week. So I wanted to go and give my thoughts on them, give a little bit of a review, how I like it, some of the wall run spots, you know, some of the hidden things, and of course, the damn disco room. How many times did I get distracted by that music, by the flashing lights, the colors? Instead of going to shoot people, I'd go in there with my new black market weapons and just point at the wall and what have you. But yeah, man, that's not important. The gameplay you're watching in the background is actually a sick uplink match where we left the enemy team on 0 points. I know it says flawless in the title, but don't get me wrong here. I did die. My KD wasn't the thing that was flawless. The match points were flawless. So we left them on 0. I think it was like 17 zip by the end of the game, and that was really cool. So I figured this would be a perfect way to review the map. You know, considering Uplink is a game mode where you should be running around and exploring and doing all that. This was a great example of how to showcase the map and a little bit of a review. So I like this map. I think it's really cool. I like the place that it's in. I like the whole Japanese feel of it. And for a second, it kind of reminded me of the Mirage map from Black Ops 2. I mean, of course, that was in a desert and it looks a little different, but you know, the general kind of feel is the same, where there's like the houses with the, you know, that Asian style. And yeah, the colors are great. I like that. You know, I like being able to do that. They have like this big middle area here where a lot of people, there's a lot of gunfights that go down there. Of course, you have the disco room, which is like a way to flank to the both spawns. That's one of the best things about this map, guys. There's a few flank routes that you can take, and oh my god, here's this complete failure. I don't know what I was doing. I think I should stick to YouTube and stay away from the NBA. I don't have a career there. But yeah, back on track here. The flank routes, there's a couple of them actually, so like you want to kind of avoid this middle area from what I've noticed, and either take the disco room or the right side with that wall run that has the Mortal Kombat spikes at the bottom. If you guys have ever played that game, where you punch people, you can uppercut them into the spike pit. That's kind of what it is here. If you're careful, you can use that wall run. You can go underneath that that little overpass, and you know, so you don't have to go out there and put yourself, you know, in harm's way. You can also wall run along the sides of these, but you know, there's a couple of spots where you won't be able to pick yourself back up and you'll just fall to your death, and that is something that you should keep in mind as well if you plan on using that as a flank route. A couple of other things I like about this map is that it is your standard 3-lane map and it's laid out well. I mean, there's no real, aside from the disco room and that head glitch in that little alcove area on the left side of the middle of the map, there really isn't that many camping spots, so I like that. And watch this play right here. Boom! Get wrecked. I love this MVP, guys. I mean, melee weapons are pretty much the only things I actually want out of the supply drops. I don't really care much for the HG40 or the FFAR. I mean, I would love to get those guns, but at the same time, if I want to use them, I'll go play World at War or Black Ops 1. But yeah, I digress. Let's go back on track with Knockout. Like I was saying before, you want to avoid the middle as much as possible because, you know, it's going to be pretty intense. It's a small, like, it's a compact area. It's very close quarters engagement. So you definitely want to run this map with some sort of SMG, or you see me using the HVK, which is a great gun. I always had fun using the HVK on this map, and the Vesper, like things like that. You know, the Weevil. Guns that will do the most amount of work in the smallest space possible, because there really isn't any long lines of sight on this map, and that is something that I like too, because I'm a rusher at heart. I love that style of gameplay, and Knockout is one of those maps that will give you that experience. So all in all, guys, I pretty much like this map. There haven't really any complaints about it, but there are a couple of things that I do not like, and I will share them with you right now. Of course, the allure of the disco room, I think, is just something that you can't get over. So there were a few maps, even on objective based game modes, that people would just stay in that room the entire time, and it was annoying because, like I said, you want to use it as a flank route to get to the other side of the spawn or whatever, trying to get capture A or C or whatever, and they would just literally just be camping there all the time, and you try to catch them. Plus they ruined my dance party all the time, so that was kind of frustrating now. But yeah, like I said, the only other thing that probably does bother me a bit is the wall run on the side with the spike pit. Like I mentioned, sometimes it feels like it might be a little bit glitched because I kept getting pushed off the map whenever I tried to use that spot, and I don't know what it was, or like I said, I don't know if it's a glitch or whatever, but it was kind of frustrating because every time I would try to use that as a flank route, like I mentioned, it would just completely screw me up, and I didn't like it. Oh, and one more thing, you can also wall run along this side of the map. I wouldn't recommend it only because you have to be really careful not to fall off. But once you master it, it's an invaluable way to keep yourself out of, you know, enemies' sights and just get to the back of the spawn, so you could pull stuff like that and just, you know, get some kills when people aren't paying attention. And, you know, that's just the way to play Call of Duty. That's how you just find a strategy. Each map has one. And Knockout is no different. I have nothing else bad to say about this map. Overall, I played all the other ones, and I will be showing gameplay of all 4 maps of the Eclipse DLC. I have to say that there are a lot better than the first DLC one. Call of Duty kind of has this trend, especially the Black Ops games, where like the first DLC will be horrible, but then the second one will like redeem it, and then we have, of course, the 4th one is usually really good too because it's the last one before the next game comes out. And a little note about something that's going to be changing for my channel. If you guys have already noticed, if you're returning subscribers, you'll see that my channel art has changed, and also my overall YouTube name has changed, my username. The reason for this being is that I have just recently graduated college for computer science and cybersecurity, and I've always been kind of good with computers, so I'm learning Photoshop. I'm self-taught. I make my own thumbnails and what have you, so I wanted to try and take my hand and make my own. And also I changed my name to reflect my gamer tag to make it easier for people to identify me, and also just because I got tired of the generic gaming ending thing. I don't know, the secondary name. It just seemed too generic for me. But that's about it, guys. Be on the lookout for gameplay of the other new maps. They will be coming out soon. Thank you for watching. Take care and peace.